Hey team, welcome back. We've got our red zone this week, and getting started, we're going to work this particular work set. We'll see a theme of 30-20. And so 30 seconds will be kind of a moderate type of an exertion. And that 20 seconds, we're gonna be looking for a big burst, gonna be looking for a lot of heart rate and just kind of that sprint in a sense. We'll see that then supersetted back to repeat that same station. In this case, in the ropes, we'll see alternating sides. But again, we'll hear that first timer, we'll notify 30 seconds complete, and we'll know 20 seconds to burst into it. So we're gonna get our movers started. Raquel will be showing us our modified version. Scott down in full plank, so let's drop them down and get them set. They're gonna hold plank position for 30 seconds, and some of them might choose to be prepared hands on the rope, some of them prepared hands on the ground, but just a good chance to breathe, relax, and check. You'll notice this first time at 30 seconds, it's easy. They're kind of waiting around wondering when's it gonna hit. And we're gonna hear that bell, they're gonna pick up their rope and they're gonna shake that one side as hard as they can, fast as they can. 20 seconds, ready, go. They'll pick up their rope, they're trying to send those waves all the way down. We're looking for continuing in that plank position. We're also looking at the alternating, that plank is level. Shoulders, hips are level. 20 seconds, I need another 5 seconds. Burst, go, go, go. All the heart rate you can get. And pause. We're gonna go to plank position. They'll breathe again. They're gonna relax. They're gonna try and catch their breath. They're gonna get comfortable, settle in, and gearing up, getting ready. They'll hear that second buzzer again. They're gonna alternate to the other side now and go for that last 20-second burst. Hard as you can, ready, set, go, other side. Hammer, hammer, hammer. Try to send those waves all the way down that rope, trying to keep those hips, those shoulders level. Now in the modified version, if this is having difficulty, we can work an elevated plank. We can work the ropes from a standing position if need be. But want to work that burst and really bursting. Last 3, 2, 1. Station complete. We'll rotate onto the next. Here now with our row pattern and using that 30-20 burst type of a work set here, we're gonna start out with just a nice long even stroke. So using kind of a 1-to-3 ratio. Raquel's gonna be working, getting all the time in the world to really reach in, shorten her chain as far as she can. And I wanna see good power. We wanna work good power, bursting as fast as she can out, but taking a nice long, easy cruise back in so that she does have this full range, this full stretch, right? I would say pull, 2, 3, 4, pull. So we're using that 1-to-3 ratio, right? Allowing for that full stretch, that full reach back in, and she's loading up all the power she can in her legs. Here on her display, now that she understands her timing, she wants to get a lot of power. Remember, 3 seconds recovery allows us for a huge burst, a huge exertion. So she'll notice these peaks and these mountains, and her job is, now that she has all of her legs, all of her power geared up and recharged for it, she should be able to see these spikes and these peaks kick up a little bit higher, right? As we hit our 20-second mark, we're gonna reduce our recovery period, but we don't wanna reduce our stroke length. So I'm gonna ask her now to go a little bit quicker into that sprint type mode, same power, but just a little quicker reset. Same length, same power, quicker in, and firing back out. So we'll notice that her power is going to peak up just as much on that graph, and she still wants to see that same high exertion, but just taking a little less time to recover in that sprint mentality. 20 seconds in, and once she completes that, she's gonna settle back into her 1-to-3 pace, right? 1-to-3 pace just means a little more time to recover between, but same big power, big pop, and big stroke. So she'll alternate between those. She'll complete this twice before she rotates onto her next station. All right, here now with our kettlebell alternative. So first thing we're gonna be working is, again, using that 30-20 burst. We're gonna be kind of a moderate pace using an alternating one-arm squat and high pull. I'll have Scott first check on his feet. Before he gets going, I wanna double check and make sure that he is parallel and about hip width here. Something as little as that. Scott, if I get you to square up towards the camera here, you guys will be able to see that we are parallel on that. Something as little as this left foot turning out is going to exhaust his back as we get towards that second minute. So these little details are crucial at this point here. He's gonna use his posture upright. He's gonna get started with a one-arm squat and high pull. Pause at that chin, and as he resets, he's gonna alternate arms. and switch for each one. So this just allows for a really moderate pace. He gets a good chance to load up those legs. I want to always remind him here just almost an overly hinge dominant type pattern as he's loading those legs. So really asking him to go find those hamstrings at the bottom of that stretch, so we're preserving that back in this 2-minute run here. Once we hit our 30-second mark, we're going to go to a 2-arm pattern. So Scott now can get a little more rapid pace. It becomes a top to bottom, squat to high pull. Again, we do want to see a really full range of motion. I want to ask him for kettlebell towards his heels. Load those hamstrings till they're stretched. And he's going to give me just kind of a 1-to-1 pace here. You can work really as quick or as slow as you'd like to, but that 1-to-1 pace allows him to just top to bottom hammer and go through it. This can start to heat up, however. So if I ask Scott pause here, we can use an extra reload at hips. And from there, he gets to make sure he has a true spine posture. He can reload his legs and pull quick 1 to the top, pause back at the waist. So now we have a 1-to-2 ratio. Go ahead, Scott. If this becomes necessary in maybe that second round through to save that lower back, that's our technique to save that lower back. Again, once he's completed his 20-second burst, he'll go to the alternating arm, back into that alternating arm, kind of a 30-second cruise or moderate mode, and then we'll hit the 2 arms for that 20-second fast pace. All right, here we are with our bike example and working the breakaway, 30-20 breakaway. So we're gonna get Raquel going on her movement here. And just thinking to start out kind of scale of 1 to 10, it's pretty moderate, it's about a 7. So she should have enough gear to feel like she's riding through a field of grassy blades or blades of grass, right? And if we're on our air assault bikes, we'll see that RPM, that's gonna be a 65 to 75 RPM pace for that. And as we hit our 20-second breakaway, I'm gonna have Raquel get up to speed, and as she gets up to speed, I'm gonna ask her to sprint. If she notices her butt starts to bounce, she's gonna turn more gear. In this case, it's about a half turn of gear, half turn increase. So she'll turn that to the right, and I'm gonna have her sprint as fast as she can, go. And we'll notice that no matter how fast she goes, she can't get her butt to bounce. That's a good burst speed. That's a good burst resistance. On that air assault bike, we're going to be holding 20 seconds of 75 to 80 plus RPMs. Once she's completed her 20-second burst, she might lower her gear and lower her cadence here slightly. But I want to just catch a breath or two and then get back up into that really quick pace. So I'd rather see a good solid pace and less gear here. So want to see those feet moving a little bit faster. This is kind of a good pace. And if she's feeling those legs are starting to burn out and her scale of 1 to 10 is more than 7, just reduce that gear so you can get back into that good confident, feeling good, feeling strong, enjoying your time out there on the bike. And the grind really comes for that 20-second burst. So use that second time through, that 30 seconds of almost recovery on the second round, and then exhaust anytime you see those 20 seconds here. Here we are now for our run station. We're working the chariot pull. So using our 30-20 time scheme, we're gonna be using a run or a sprint approach for the first 30 seconds, and that 20-second breakaway will be using a high knees. Real quick with our tool sets, introducing a few different concepts to keep you guys safe here. If you've got a green band or thicker, so if I put up on that green band, it's at least 2 fingers, or maybe it's an orange band, something a little thicker. It can be a single loop. Raquel's gonna have kind of moderate tension on this, and we'll notice a little more length in between the athletes here. I'll have them actually run using a smaller band in this case here to show the example in which they're gonna double up on that. So we'll swatch out Scott here. And he's gonna just hold that at his waist. Raquel's going to grab on those loop ends back behind. Keep in mind for either example, we don't want our trail athlete, our dragger, to be stepping on the runner's heels. We definitely want to be careful of those ankles and those Achilles of the front runner. So a couple ground rules on this. Raquel is always going to have a wide stance, and Raquel is always going to stay low and lean back. If Raquel gets pulled forward in front of her center of gravity, she could get dragged on this. So, and then the next rule of thumb is communication, right? The runner letting them know it's not about dragging your partner face first on the ground. So he may use kind of a slow ramp up on this, and once they feel they have a good rhythm together, he can start to push at a little quicker speed, right? So communication is key. Trail person can always say, stop, not ready, reset, redo, whatever that might need to be. We don't want people dragging on the ground here. So we're gonna get them started here. We're gonna start with a slow ramp up to a run, and 30 seconds, this is our run, go ahead. So not about stopping the partner. They're gonna come back here, and they're gonna run back through our full speed technique. So that's our run variation. We'll show the high knees next. High knees, Scott's looking for a little more speed on those hands and knees, and Raquel is gonna notice a big reduction on that workload, right? She doesn't have to work as hard with the high knees variation, but again, most important part here is remember that trail person, it's not about being the Mack truck brakes stopping the runner. The runner should always be moving. Keep an eye on their heels. We never wanna see their heels hit the ground. That's gonna be too much for the Achilles and really putting a lot of risk into those calves and feet and so forth. So just a good place here to see the technique. We see Raquel's body angle with this lesser resistance, and she knows that when he gets back up to his run speed, she's gotta sit lower and she's gotta lean back farther, right? Have fun, be safe. Ideally, after one time, 30 seconds and 20-second burst, they're gonna switch. It's gonna be a quick switch, so that person doesn't have to do 2 cycles or 2 rounds back to back. But stay pretty quick on that switch there.